Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will dive into the thrilling developments set to unfold on Monday, August 11th, where Drew Kane ramps up his efforts to reconnect with Willow Tate. Britt Westburn takes a bold stand by going on strike, and Jason Morgan receives some truly unsettling news about Scout Kane. Let's break it all down with fresh insights and expanded details on these Port Charles twists. Starting with the intrigue surrounding Anna Devane. She'll approach Carly Spencer and Jack Brennan with a sense of urgency, hinting at some lingering unfinished business that could shake things up. Imagine Anna, ever the seasoned operative, carefully navigating this conversation to avoid any slip-ups that might lead to accusations of treason. After all, sharing sensitive WSB secrets is a high-stakes game she can't afford to lose. Instead of revealing too much, she might craft a clever diversion, perhaps circling back to her previous concerns about Jocelyn Jacks in a way that keeps Brennan placated and unsuspecting. This strategic move allows Anna to probe without exposing her hand, adding layers of tension as viewers wonder how long she can maintain this delicate balance. To enrich the scene, picture Anna drawing on her vast experience from past missions, subtly weaving in references to old alliances that make her excuse all the more believable, ensuring Brennan doesn't catch on to her true intentions. Meanwhile, Carly, never one to sit idle, will step forward with an intriguing proposal for Brennan to ponder. Drawing from her resourceful nature and history of bold decisions, Carly could suggest a partnership or scheme that aligns with their mutual interests, perhaps involving a business venture or a way to leverage their connections in Port Charles. She'll eagerly seek Brennan's feedback, hoping to gauge his enthusiasm and potentially forge a new alliance that could benefit her ongoing battles. Expanding on this, envision Carly incorporating lessons from her tumultuous past with Sonny Corinthos, infusing her idea with a mix of street-smart tactics and emotional insight, making it not just a plan but a calculated power play. Will Brennan bite, or will he counter with his own agenda? This interaction promises to heighten the drama, as Carly's suggestion might inadvertently pull in other characters, like Jocelyn, into the web of intrigue. Shifting focus to Lulu Spencer and Dante Falconeri, the couple will find themselves puzzled as they head to Laura Collins' office, speculating wildly about the reason behind her urgent summons. Their discussion could delve into family dynamics, with Lulu reflecting on her recent coma recovery and how it has reshaped her priorities, while Dante draws from his detective instincts to piece together clues. Eventually, they'll receive shocking updates that ignite their fury, potentially linked to Lisa Lobrick's sneaky efforts to bond more closely with young Rocco Falconeri, stirring up custody tensions or hidden motives. To add depth, imagine this revelation uncovering a deeper plot where Liesel's actions stem from her own unresolved grief over past losses, like the death of her son Nathan, motivating her to overstep boundaries in a bid for familial connection. Lulu and Dante's outrage might lead to heated confrontations, emphasizing themes of parental rights and loyalty in the Spencer Falconeri clan, leaving fans on edge for how this family rift could escalate. Over with Curtis Ashford, he'll open up to Jordan Ashford in a heartfelt moment, confessing that he's committed to rebuilding his marriage with Portia Robinson. After a period of doubt and separation, Curtis might elaborate on the emotional journey that led him here, crediting Jordan's unwavering support and advice as the catalyst that prevented a total breakdown. Picture him recounting specific instances where Jordan's wisdom helped him see the value in forgiveness and second chances, perhaps tying back to their shared history as ex-spouses who still care deeply. This admission not only highlights Curtis' growth, but also adds nuance to his relationships, showing how past loves can influence present paths without reigniting old flames. Jordan, in turn, could respond with a mix of pride and subtle melancholy, acknowledging her role while navigating her own feelings, which might invent a new layer of unspoken tension. Will this gratitude evolve into something more, or remain a platonic bond? At the hospital, Drew Kane will seek out Elizabeth Baldwin for a candid chat, questioning whether Willow Tate is truly in a better place now amid her personal turmoil. Driven by his determination to assist Willow in regaining custody of her children, Drew might plead with Elizabeth to act as an intermediary, Leveraging their long-standing friendship, he could even confess his lingering romantic hopes for a reunion with Willow, painting a vivid picture of a future where they overcome obstacles together, inspired by invented details like shared memories from their time navigating Quartermain family chaos. Elizabeth, with her own history of complicated relationships, might weigh the pros and cons, adding analytical depth to the scene by considering Willow's mental health and the kids' well-being. This encounter expands on Drew's strategic mindset, perhaps including new elements like him researching legal avenues or consulting experts, all while pushing Elizabeth to decide if she'll back his quest for reconciliation. Across town, Alexis Davis will confide in Jason Morgan about her recent tense exchange with Drew, who is gearing up to relocate Scout Kane to Washington, D.C., complete with school tours to ease the transition. Alexis, fiercely protective as a grandmother, will express her strong opposition, arguing that uprooting Scout could disrupt her stability and family ties. Jason, as Scout's uncle and a father figure to Danny Morganwho, would be devastated by his sister's absence. Will dive into the conversation with vested interest, perhaps drawing parallels to his own experiences of loss and separation in the mob world. In a nod to the preview, Alexis poses the pointed question, "Isn't this supposed to be about what Scout needs?" Jason might agree emphatically, but challenge her on next steps, noting Drew's legal upper hand. To flesh this out, invent scenarios where Jason recalls bonding moments with Scout, like teaching her to ride a bike, underscoring the emotional stakes and potentially setting up Jason to intervene in unexpected ways. Later, Anna will rendezvous with Jason, sharing cryptic intel from her earlier interaction with Brennan, including a tantalizing clue about Dalmatia that ties into broader mysteries. Recognizing the connection to Britt Westburn's bag from a Dalmatian resort, Anna could speculate on links to an emerging WSB operation, hinting at international intrigue without breaching protocol. This might spark Jason's investigative drive, convincing him that a journey to the Five Poppies resort is essential to unravel the thread spur-ups. Imagining him packing for the trip with thoughts of past adventures alongside Anna. Adding new elements, Jason could analyze the risks, weighing his loyalty to friends against the dangers of WSB entanglements, enriching the narrative with themes of trust and hidden agendas. Finally, Britt Westburn steals the spotlight by defying authority, lounging by the pool and declaring herself on strike until she secures greater autonomy. In a defiant clip, she demands, "You can tell him I'm on strike," signaling her refusal to comply with further directives from her mysterious superior. This bold move could stem from Britt's evolving backstory, perhaps invented frustrations from her time as a fugitive, or unresolved issues with her mother Liesel, pushing her to negotiate harder for freedom. The ensuing drama might involve high-stakes bargaining, with Britt using her medical expertise or cunning wit as leverage, causing ripples that affect allies like Jason. Next, we will explore the explosive secrets swirling around Jack Brennan's desperate efforts to shield Carly Spencer from the shocking reality that her daughter, Jocelyn Jacks, is operating as an undercover WSB agent, complete with high-stakes deceptions and potential family fallout. Diving right into the heart of the intrigue, Jack Brennan is pulling out all the stops to ensure Carly remains in the dark about Jocelyn's clandestine role within the World Security Bureau. Picture Brennan, with his sharp intelligence background and unyielding commitment to protocol, orchestrating a web of cover stories and diversions to protect the operation's integrity. He's implemented extreme precautions, perhaps including encrypted communications and false trails, all designed to prevent any leaks that could jeopardize Jocelyn's safety or the mission at hand. This level of secrecy adds a thrilling layer of tension, as Brennan balances his professional duties with his personal feelings for Carly, inventing scenarios where he subtly redirects her suspicions during casual conversations, like casually dismissing Jocelyn's odd behaviors as typical young adult rebellion. The stakes are sky high, as any slip could unravel not just the WSB's plans, but also Brennan's budding romance, forcing him to walk a tightrope between loyalty to his agency and his heart. Meanwhile, Jocelyn has been weaving a tapestry of fabrications to keep her mother oblivious, having deceived Carly on at least 2 occasions about her true locations. and the nature of her involvement with the enigmatic Vaughn. Envision Jocelyn, drawing on her resourceful Jack's family heritage, crafting elaborate alibis that involve exotic destinations and fabricated emergencies, all while maintaining her undercover persona with Vaughn as her partner in these shadowy endeavors. These lies aren't just white fibs, they're calculated moves to preserve her cover, perhaps incorporating invented details like urgent volunteer work abroad, or surprise educational opportunities that explain her absences. Carly, with her keen maternal instincts honed from years of navigating Port Charles chaos, is inching closer to connecting the dots. Her intimate knowledge of Jocelyn's habits, from her adventurous spirit to her telltale signs of stress, makes it inevitable that the truth will surface, potentially sparking a mother-daughter reckoning filled with emotional revelations and rebuilt trust. The drama escalates dramatically when Jason Morgan, on a determined quest to locate the elusive Dr. Britt Westburn at the luxurious Five Poppies resort in Croatia, unexpectedly crosses paths with Jocelyn, who's stationed there alongside Vaughn on a covert WSB assignment. Imagine the sun-drenched Croatian coastline as the backdrop for this chance encounter, where Jason's investigative prowess fueled by his history as a mob enforcer turned guardian leads him straight into Jocelyn's orbit. He's harbored nagging doubts about her stories, particularly questioning the authenticity of her supposed jaunt to Easter Island, and this serendipitous meeting at the resort, perhaps in a bustling lobby or along a scenic pathway, shatters any illusions. Jocelyn, caught off guard in her operative guise, might attempt to blend into the tourist crowd with disguises like stylish hats or casual resort wear, but Jason's sharp eyes spot her instantly, paving the way for a tense revelation where he uncovers her true allegiance to the WSB, adding invented elements like overhearing coded conversations that confirm her role and heighten the international flair of the storyline. In the heat of this confrontation, Jocelyn will desperately implore Jason to maintain her secrecy, pleading with him not to dismantle her carefully constructed cover that could endanger lives, including her own. Drawing from her growth as a character who's evolved from a rebellious teen to a capable agent, Jocelyn might appeal to Jason's protective nature, reminding him of their shared family ties through Carly and the potential repercussions of exposure. However, Jason, steadfast in his principles and unbreakable bond with Carly, isn't inclined to withhold such monumental truths. She's never been one to play games with secrets, especially when they involve those he cares about deeply. This moral dilemma could introduce new facets, such as Jason weighing the broader implications for Port Charles' safety if the WSB mission falters, or even flashing back to his own past deceptions that nearly cost him everything, ultimately reinforcing his decision to prioritize honesty over operational silence. True to form, Jason Morgan will find himself compelled to reveal the full extent of what he's discovered to Carly Spencer, breaking the news about his Croatian run-in with Jocelyn and her shocking status as a WSB operative. Envision this heartfelt disclosure unfolding in a quiet corner of Carly's home, or perhaps during a late-night coffee at Kelly's Diner, where Jason's straightforward demeanor contrasts with Carly's initial disbelief, her mind racing to process the betrayal. As the pieces fall into place, Carly will retrospectively scrutinize Jocelyn's cover stories, like the fabricated Easter Island adventure and the recent claim of tending to a family friend in Australia. Realizing how these tales mask dangerous realities, this epiphany might be amplified with invented emotional depth, such as Carly recalling specific motherly moments where she sensed something amiss, like unanswered calls or evasive texts, leading to self-reproach for not probing deeper. Her anger then pivots outward, zeroing in on Brennan as the architect of this deception, blaming him for entangling her daughter in a perilous world of espionage that echoes Carly's own brushes with high-risk lifestyles. Fueled by righteous indignation, Carly Spencer will storm into a confrontation with Jack Brennan, armed with the newfound knowledge that he personally recruited Jocelyn into the WSB and deliberately concealed it from her. This showdown could erupt in a charged setting like Brennan's office or a discreet meeting spot, where Carly unleashes her fury, viewing his actions as a profound betrayal that strikes at the core of their relationship. She'll declare it intolerable, perhaps drawing parallels to past manipulations in her life, such as those from Sonny or other figures who've hidden truths, making her stance all the more resolute. Brennan, caught between his affection for Carly and his duty-bound obligations, might defend his choices by emphasizing the necessity of secrecy for Jocelyn's protection and the greater good. But Carly won't budge, seeing it as an unforgivable breach of trust. In an invented twist, she could reference specific instances where Brennan's charm distracted her from Jocelyn's oddities, heightening her sense of manipulation and leading her to sever ties decisively. Despite the personal blow, Brennan will grapple with his emotions but press on with his professional responsibilities, ensuring the WSB's objectives remain intact even as his heart aches from the fallout. Imagine him retreating to solitude after the breakup, reflecting on how his career's demands have once again cost him a shot at happiness, yet steeling himself to safeguard the mission perhaps by doubling down on security measures, or coordinating with Vaughn to keep Jocelyn safe amid the Croatian operation. This resilience underscores Brennan's complex character, blending vulnerability with unyielding dedication, and sets the stage for potential future reconciliations or further conflicts. As the WSB storyline unfolds, what do you think? Do you believe Jason will stumble upon Jocelyn's secret in Croatia? Will he choose to confide in Carly despite the risks? And when Carly learns the truth, do you see her calling it quits with Brennan for good? Next, we will delve into the captivating mystery surrounding Martin Gray's discovery of an enigmatic letter belonging to Monica Quartermain, which unveils surprising revelations about her past and sets off a chain of investigative pursuits. In Port Charles, kicking off this intriguing storyline, Martin Gray stumbles upon a cryptic letter addressed to Monica Quartermain, peeling back layers of astonishing details tied to her personal history that have long been shrouded in secrecy. While the exact contents remain partially veiled, it's clear the missive delves into Monica's origins, perhaps hinting at forgotten family ties or concealed adoptions that challenge everything known about her Quartermain legacy. To expand his understanding, Martin engages in a discreet conversation with Yuri Tomashevich, the loyal Quartermain bodyguard, who might share fragmented anecdotes from Monica's earlier days, such as her arrival in Port Charles or subtle inconsistencies in her family narrative. Inventing fresh elements, picture Martin poring over the letter in a dimly lit study, deciphering faded handwriting that references distant relatives and long-lost connections, fueling his curiosity to dig deeper. This discovery propels Martin toward confronting Tracy Quartermain, where he could lay out the findings, prompting Tracy to speculate intensely on what Monica might be concealing, her sharp mind racing through potential scandals that could upend the family's dynamics. Energized by Martin's revelations, Tracy Quartermain declares her unyielding commitment to unraveling the enigma behind the letter's author and determining if this individual truly shares a sibling bond with Monica. Envision Tracy, with her trademark blend of determination and Quartermain tenacity, mapping out a plan that involves scrutinizing old family records, or even hiring private investigators to trace the letter's origins, all while pondering the implications of Monica's adoptive status. That Martin confirms during their exchange. Tracy might express initial wariness, viewing this as a potential threat to the family's prestige, and firmly assert that the matter is a private Quartermain affair, brushing off Martin's offers of assistance with a stern reminder that outsiders need not interfere. Adding inventive twists, Tracy could recall vague childhood stories from her brother Alan about Monica's mysterious entry into their lives, perhaps involving hushed whispers of adoption agencies or relocated kin, which intensifies her resolve to expose the truth and protect the Quartermain empire from any unwelcome surprises. Undeterred by Tracy's resistance, Martin Gray leverages his expertise as a seasoned attorney to persuade her that his involvement could unlock doors inaccessible to her alone, emphasizing how his legal acumen might unearth sealed records or confidential databases about Monica's background. He argues passionately that since he was the one to unearth the letter, perhaps while sorting through estate documents or during a routine visit to the mansion he's already entangled in the saga, and setting aside their long-standing rivalries would be the smartest path. to confirming the sister's existence and locating her whereabouts. After a tense back-and-forth, where Tracy weighs the risks of collaboration against the benefits of Martin's resources, she begrudgingly consents, perhaps sealing the deal with a reluctant handshake that masks her underlying admiration for his persistence. To enrich this segment, invent scenarios where Martin demonstrates his value early on by pulling strings to access archived adoption files or decoding subtle clues in the letter, like a postmark from a remote town, transforming their uneasy alliance into a dynamic partnership driven by mutual intrigue and the thrill of the hunt. With their combined efforts in full swing, Martin Gray successfully tracks down the whereabouts of Monica's purported sister, piecing together hints from the letter alongside additional intel that Tracy gathers through her extensive network of contacts. Imagine Martin hunched over a computer in his office, cross-referencing names and addresses with Tracy providing insider Quartermain lore, such as old letters or family ledgers that corroborate the sibling claim. Once the location is pinpointed, perhaps a quaint coastal town far from Port Charles, Tracy announces her intention to confront the woman personally, eager to discern her motives toward Monica, whether it's a genuine reunion or something more sinister like a claim on the family fortune. Martin, insistent on seeing the endeavor through, expresses his desire to accompany her, but Tracy rebuffs him, opting instead to commandeer the luxurious Quartermain jet for a solo journey. Undaunted, Martin devises a clever ploy to stow away, maybe disguising himself among the flight crew or timing his boarding perfectly, ensuring he's along for the ride as they soar toward this pivotal meeting, adding layers of comedic tension and unexpected camaraderie to their quest. Upon discovering Martin's sneaky presence aboard the plane, Tracy Quartermain reacts with a mix of irritation and reluctant amusement, ultimately conceding to let him join her at the sister's residence rather than turning back. Martin stands his ground, declaring that as the initiator of this revelation, he's determined to witness its conclusion, perhaps drawing on his own family history of hidden truths to empathize with the emotional weight of the situation. Their arrival at the modest yet intriguing home marks a climactic moment, where Tracy and Martin finally come face to face with Monica's sister, an encounter brimming with potential drama as introductions unfold and questions fly. This new character, speculated to be portrayed by the talented Erica Slezak from One Life to Live fame, could bring a fresh energy to the canvas, with invented details like her bearing a striking resemblance to Monica or sharing quirky mannerisms that instantly validate the familial link, setting the stage for heartfelt disclosures or shocking twists that ripple back to Port Charles. What do you think? Do you believe Martin will share the details of the letter with Tracy? Can Martin and Tracy bridge their differences to collaborate on finding Monica's sister? Will they manage to set aside their egos for the sake of the truth?